Good evening. We've got action from the penultimate round of Barclays Women's Super League matches before the winter break. Every point earned potentially pivotal at the top and bottom of the table, but one meeting in particular this weekend stood out above the rest.
The biggest WSL game of the season. Chelsea, the league leaders, will hope to put some distance between them and Arsenal.
Oh my word! It's an absolute cracker! She wasn't going to miss that one. It's Rousseau! An inch-perfect finish. A first goal in Chelsea blue for Lawrence. Stina Blackstenius! A big goal in a big game. Great goal from Erin Cuthbert.
And it is Beth Mead for Arsenal. What a sight that is to see.
Takes aim. Lauren James with a hat-trick.
Oh yes, the two most decorated sides in WSL history, Chelsea and Arsenal, met at the Emirates. Following their 7-0 defeat to Manchester City 2 weeks ago, Spurs now look to get back on track at home to United. And City themselves look to keep the pressure on the top two. They welcomed Aston Villa. That plus every WSL goal this weekend picked apart by our defensive duo of Jenna Scalacci, Neda Manua. And the only place to start really is that titanic meeting of the top two, which could go a long way to deciding the destination of the league title come the end of May. The Gunners had won just one of their last 9 WSL games against the Blues. Gilly Flaherty and Robin Cowan were watching this one at the Emirates.
It's 2 changes to the Arsenal side that beat West Ham before the break. Kim Little and Leah Valti return to the midfield. Steph Catley makes her 50th WSL appearance. Beth Mead scored twice against the Hammers and also got her first England goal in over a year against Scotland during the break. She's been involved in 11 goals against Chelsea during her WSL career, 8 goals and 3 assists. Chelsea also make 2 alterations from their win over Leicester. Shirka Nuskin and Jessie Fleming come in for Fran Kirby and Sophie Ingle. Lauren James started her career at Arsenal and has been in red-hot form recently. 12 goal involvements in 5 games for club and country. Chelsea are still without captain Millie Bright, but Guro Reiten is named on the bench for the first time since October. Valti brings it away. Plays a lovely ball over the top to set Caitlin Ford away. An Arsenal break on the counter. Ford striding forward into a good position. Tried to thread it through for Rousseau. Mead! Is there an effort? Yes, there is! There's more than that! There's a goal! Beth Mead fires Arsenal into the lead at the Emirates against Chelsea. It's Beth Mead, comes up clutch, 1-0 to Arsenal.
Caitlin Ford, she picks the ball up, she drives, and that's what she does so well. She drives inside. You're thinking Beth Mead's going to pull it, she cuts inside, she smashes it into the roof of the net. Such composure in that area there. The amount of bodies that are on the line too, for her to put it above them. But what an incredible atmosphere from the home crowd.
What a long journey it's been back for Beth Mead. And she is showing no sign that she's suffering still. Fleming tries to strike straight back for Chelsea, forcing Zinsberger into a good save.
Yes, it's a big save. It is a big save, especially when you are vulnerable after scoring a goal.
Nuskin helps it on, a bit of space here for Fleming. No one in the Arsenal midfield to stop her. Ford charging back, but she pops it off to Canarid, trying to cut inside. Canarid! In at the near post! Skidded across the turf to beat Zinsberger. Just the response that Chelsea required. 1-1.
I think it's poor defensively from Arsenal because they had the bodies behind the ball. Catley, she needs to go tighter. As soon as she cuts aside, you can't allow that space still. You question, obviously, Sam Kerr, is she blocking Zinsberger? But again, there doesn't really seem to be much argument from her or the other players, but you've got to get tighter so she can't pull the trigger.
Perisset takes a tumble. Play on, says the referee. Here's Little. Ford. Oh, and headed away. Neve Charles had to get that right.
Yeah, it's one of those ones when a defender, you're running back to the goal, the ball's been zinged across the box. You've got to get something on it. She had to do the touch as well because Mead was behind her.
Catley delivers. It's there! Amanda Ilestedt! Arsenal back in front! Prolific with her head at the World Cup. She's shown why there.
It's a great ball in. It's just Carter who's marking her. For me, I don't think Berger needs to come out that far at all. There's no need to it. Let your defenders defend. If she stays in her line and doesn't come for that ball, Ilestett's going to pass the ball straight into Berger. She does not need to commit there.
She is such a threat, Amanda Ilestedt. Alessia Russo in behind. It's Russo! 3-1! In the blink of an eye, Arsenal have daylight. And Alessia Russo has another goal at the Emirates. The Gunners firing shots here against the champions.
Really well to finish there. It's class, passing it into the back of the net.
Ashley Lawrence finding Kerr, shaking off the challenge of Ilestedt. Now Canarid, dangerous ball, well dealt with by Wilburn Moy. Few appeals for a penalty. Fran Kirby taking a tumble off the ball. Kirby asking the question now.
Oh yeah, I mean she does step towards. She steps towards Fran Kirby there.
Oh, James getting up ahead of Wilburn Moy, unfairly, according to the referee.
Yeah, it seemed to be a little battle there. But I think that card, I don't think that card is for that initial one. I think she might have done something to Vorty afterwards. I think here is the initial, but I think something happens here. Oh, she just steps on her foot. You don't need to do that. You really don't.
Brighton clears upfield towards Sam Kerr. Touch tight, Ilestedt. Arsenal have it back. Chelsea look a bit leggy. Pelova onto Russo. Well, was she taken out by the keeper? Yes, she was. Penalty to Arsenal. Carter cleared up, she got the ball. She tripped over Berger. The goalkeeper couldn't do much about that, but Rebecca Welsh has pointed to the spot.
Yeah, it's one where obviously Carter's there, but Berger's committed too. I don't know why Berger's come out, because Jess Carter's there. Let Jess Carter defend that ball. She's first to it.
Alessia Russo, who won it, will take responsibility. Pressure moment for Alessia Russo. Absolutely clinical. Alessia Russo has her second. Arsenal have their fourth. And surely, from this position, they will be taking the 3 points.
It's a great finish into the bottom corner. The amount of power that's getting behind that, I don't even think if Berger could get a touch on it that she'd keep that out because the power behind it.
All over. Christmas comes early for Arsenal. The champions beaten, well beaten by the Gunners. Consider the title race shaken up. Full time at the Emirates. Arsenal 4, Chelsea 1.
We know that we have that level in us. We know that we probably have another level as well. We would like to surprise the opponent with the intensity that we are playing at, and I think we managed to do that today, and that's not easy against the Chelsea side.
Does it get better than that? 59,000 people scoring against Chelsea, put your team 1-0 up at the time, was a pretty incredible feeling.
Great day. I think we started the game really well. We knew we wanted to come out, start positively, and the crowd got behind us from minute one. So, yeah, we worked hard in the week and we were ready for it.
Fair play to Arsenal. They bullied, they harassed. We didn't compete anywhere. I thought the whole team was poor for us today. I'm not going to make excuses, none whatsoever. I make none. I'll talk to the players tomorrow about it. We were well and truly beaten, and Arsenal thoroughly deserved to win.
Oh, brutal assessment there from Emma Hayes. Wouldn't expect anything less, but Jenna, wow. A record WSL attendance, over 59,000 people at the Emirates. Plenty of drama as well. It was a really good game today, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. And I mean, what an atmosphere there that the fans created. It was huge. I think the noise was deafening from start to finish. Electric atmosphere, and I think the team put on a top-class performance.
They really did. Right from the start as well, that Beth Mead opener, and it just goes to show she is back in form, scoring and enjoying her football here, Nedum.
Yeah, she certainly is. I think this is a great run down the side by forward, and you need to commit yourself forward, make those hard yards to get up into those sorts of key areas, and at this point you think maybe the moves come to nothing. But when the ball drops to her, I'll tell you what this is supreme composure. She sent 3 players just out of the stadium altogether, and then the finish itself, to knock it high into the net, I think that's the type of skill that not everybody has, but she has that, and she was very much ready for the big moment.
Yeah, they also committed numbers body early on. I think you see there, Palova's done excellently well, just holding off the defenders, but it's because they've committed numbers forward. They're able to pick up the loose balls in and around that box to find Mead out in the space.
Well, it didn't last long, did it? Cameron there, the equaliser, Nedum, and it was a really good equaliser as well, but potentially a little bit of a view blocked by Sam Kerr.
Yeah, that's fair, and I think as you look here as well, you could maybe make the case that Arsenal have overcommitted on this side to try and stop this attack, because you wouldn't want someone to have this much space driving into your midfield zone, and at this point, she's left-footed. Can you keep her going outside? But instead, she's allowed inside. And you could make the case that maybe the keeper could do better, but I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, for me, I think this is actually the start of the movement. Is one of the only times that Chelsea actually beat that Arsenal press, and they found the space on the opposite side. But for me, I felt the keeper needed to do better. I see the argument with Kerr maybe blocking her vision there, but for me, I think the keeper would need to do a bit better there.
Yeah, well, Arsenal kept on going. They marched on. Amanda Illetstead there with the 2-1 goal, and there's a bit of a kerfuffle in the build-up to this here. I mean,
are you sure there's a free kick here? Yeah, that must have been a free kick.
What do you think, Nedum?
The ball's still in play. Yeah, I thought it was a foul, but obviously, you don't always get every good decision your way. And then from this, I think if Berger's going to come out, she has to catch it at its highest point.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be able to do so, you can't come out. But it's a good header from Illetstead, but as you saw from Emma Hayes, she wasn't particularly happy about that goal.
Yeah, and does that rattle the team? If they know that there's a bit of that going on in the build-up and then that leads to a goal, does that rattle the team?
I think you'd be frustrated, but you have to play to the rest whistle. That's what you're taught as a kid. So you carry on, and you're always playing what if, and you have to remain focused. And they didn't, and it cost them the set piece there. But yeah, frustration for Chelsea on that one. But I think from the set piece they needed to do better.
OK, well, Russo settling in, looking really good at Arsenal now, Nedum, and playing some beautiful football and actually proving herself to be an asset.
Yeah, I really do believe that. I think her hold-up play is really, really good, some of the link-up play as well. But what I like the most about the way she plays is she plays on the shoulder. She's constantly trying to stretch the line, and when you get to this point, she shows great pace. But, opening up and slotting in that corner reminds me of certain Arsenal legends of time gone by. And as I say, to be able to sense the space and to be offering that running behind, it makes defenders feel very, very uncomfortable. You prefer it when an attacker comes short. That's not her game. And as a consequence, if you're at the back, you've got the opportunity again to be able to play through balls that can make a big difference.
Yeah, I think for me, I think she's been fantastic, especially today. I know people say she's more than goal scorer. Here we're just seeing the penalty decision.
Yeah.
I think Jess Carter clearly gets the touch there. So for me, it's not a pen, but how mature, she steps up, penalty. Arsenal haven't been very successful with penalties of late, and she steps up a really cool, calm, composed finish there.
I tell you what this did do to Chelsea. It seemed to really frustrate them. They seemed to quite get rattled towards the end of the game. There was Frank Kirby potential penalty claim. She was super frustrated that she didn't get this.
Yeah, I think if you're just trying to make your way into the box calmly and then all of a sudden getting over to your chest, I think it's fair enough to say that you believe you've been fouled. And, you know, she will be frustrated, disappointed, but I think we need to give more sort of perspective. A referee can't see everything, you know, and I think maybe if she did see that incident, maybe she would give a penalty, but again, not everything will go your way all the time.
Yeah, and another frustrated player looked like to be Lauren James as well. And we can see this here. What do you make of this here, Jenna? Because someone like Lauren James, we know she's got form, but when she does things like this...
Yeah, I mean, it's really silly, stupid. She's very lucky that she's still on the pitch after that. She's a quality player, you know, one of the best players in the country at the minute. There's absolutely no need to be doing that, and I think she's very lucky still to be on the pitch there.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think to describe the intent, she doesn't apologise afterwards, say he did it by accident. Some people haven't mastered the dark arts, and some people just go and try and step on people and walk away like nothing happened.
Yeah, and frustrated Emma Hayes, she spoke about the fact the only positive was that it's only a 20-minute drive home. For her.
Well, with the traffic, 60,000 people, perhaps it's even longer.
She's got to be frustrated with that, and she wants to be able to win.
Yeah, listen, I think Arsenal got it spot on today. I think from front to back they were fantastic, and Chelsea just didn't perform at all at any area of the pitch. I think everything that Arsenal did, I think they're transitioning. I think I think Emma Hayes used the word bully. I think they did exactly that, and you know, they were clinical in front of goal, and when they were transitioning, the pace, it was rapid, and they just looked like they were scoring every time they attacked, really, towards the end.
Well, we shall see. Well done to Arsenal today. But for Tottenham, they haven't won in their previous 4 WSL games, and a victory today with their visitors, Manchester United, could bring them level on points. Mark Scott was watching this one.
Well, huge news for Tottenham Hotspur as Beth England returns from a hip injury for her first appearance since the Women's World Cup final last summer. She scored 12 goals in as many WSL appearances for Spurs last season after joining from Chelsea in January. Martha Thomas is a former Manchester United player. There are 5 changes in total from the 7-0 loss at Manchester City last weekend. Amongst those to miss out is on loan Grace Clinton, who's ineligible against her parent club. Mark Skinner has made 2 changes to his Manchester United lineup, which beat Bristol City before the international break. A big blow for them injury-wise. The Japanese midfielder Hinata Miyazawa has been ruled out with injury until 2024, so Hayley Ladd replaces her in midfield. The other changes up front with Melvin Mallard leading the line. Jaes drops to the bench. Spencer away. That's useful. Here's Jessica Naz. Stood up by Revere. Naz fancies her chances against her and gets the ball in. It's not a bad one either. Oh, England denied. Still alive. Now the effort comes in, and Earps with a bit of a Hollywood save there. But that was a very presentable opening for Tottenham Hotspur right at the start of the game. Started with the way that Jessica Naz had a run at Jade Revere. Long looping cross, intelligent header back across goal. I think that was an attempt at goal, but it fell for Bethany England, whose strike was cleared away from off the goal line. Now Earps into the path of England. That's an excellent piece of defending from Maya Letitia. Oh, lovely stuff, but then he's dispossessed. Toon, who's been quiet so far. That's useful. Oh, touched in by Mallard, and Manchester United lead. Melvin Mallard with a predatory finish, and our Manchester United going to have yet more away day joy. She's onside. It's a really clever run, and it's a bit of an error by Bartrip, who stopped, perhaps expecting Spencer to come for it. Did she get a touch on it? That's the other question. Not conclusive, but for now it's Mallard's goal.
Millie Turner. Sprayed by Ladd. Gamely chasing and going over. And what is Kirsty Dowell going to award here? It was Jade Revere who'd made the burst forwards. Was it inside or outside the area? Well, it's a risky challenge. That is all you'd say from Shelina Zadorsky. Mallard. Oh, that's a lovely scoop forwards. Toon! It's 2-0. And Manchester United are at it away from home once again. Ella Toon with a terrific touch to double United's lead. Having found goals hard to come by in the WSL, she'd won 26 games without one prior to scoring at Brighton early last month, and she's on target on the road once again, is United's all-time top scorer. Ladd. And still, oh, now then. Oh, it's in anyway. Spurs were concerned they might concede a penalty. Instead, they've conceded a third of the game. And it is Melvin Mallard who is at the double. Ladd at the heart of it. And as she went down here, Spurs were fearful there might be a spot kick against them. Meanwhile, Mallard saw the opportunity to sweep it beyond Becky Spencer. No doubting who has scored the third for United tonight. And that surely finishes off the game. Well, that's a horrible touch. Toon, good challenge by Neville. That's a handy pass, though. And Ladd has made it 4. Manchester United winning away from home again and doing it in style. Hayley Ladd, the latest to add her name to the list of scorers. It's her first WSL goal of the season for the Welsh midfielder. Some technique on that as she readjusted her body to bend it goalwards. Absolutely terrific finishing. Manchester United enjoy themselves on their travels once again. Mark Skinner's side, comfortable victors away at Spurs. Tottenham Hotspur 0, Manchester United 4.
It's an even game in the first half, and we protect the goal well, and we create a few counter-attacks, and then of course they score a few many goals the second half, but I think they only have like 5 shots on the goal, so it's they are very effective when they get the chances. This is where we are right now. We're trying to play, and we cannot really hurt them right now, but in the long end we're going to do it. But we have we need to work a little bit more.
The stats are skewed in this game. Their shots were speculative from far. We dominated them, we moved them, we created opportunities ourselves and finished 4 times. We have to focus on our performance, and tonight we did that. And that's where we got to get back to, focusing on us, zoning into what we can do, and we'll destroy teams.
Oh, it's a tough loss for Spurs, Jenna. I'm sorry. Every time you come on, you know these high score lines. But the reality is, this is where Spurs are at. But for Manchester United, that's their 5th win in a row, and that goal as well for Spurs, their defence seemed to shut off a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, came from a loss of possession out on the right-hand side. It's a great ball in from Hannah Lundell, and we've been discussing, did Mallard actually get a touch on it? We've watched it back about 10 times. I've gone with, I think she's got a little touch, but if you're looking at just Bartrick there, I think it is. She knows where she is, and in a split second she loses. I'm not sure if she's distracted by the movement of Paris in front of her, but there she is at the back post, free don't know if she gets a little nick on it. Do you think
she gets us to that, Nedum?
It's been given to her, but I can say from experience, you don't necessarily need to touch the ball to get given goals anyway.
Ella too, as well. She's on good form as well. She's slowly kind of getting back to where she needs to be. You know, 3 assists, 3 goals, and there was an assist from Mallard as well in this goal.
Yeah, this is great hold-up play by Mallard and a great ball and running behind, and to have the bravery and the composure to just flick it over the goalie. Like these are the goals you want to be scoring. You want your front players to be linking up like this. It's not a case of the individuals. You need them as the collective. The time of the run's great. The ball through is great. And I love it when people do attack the space, because this is the type of reward you can get from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Hayley Ladd as well, she's not started in 6, but she started today. How influential is she? How influential was she in this particular game?
Yeah, I think in the first half she struggled a bit to get on the ball, but I think that was down to Tottenham and the way they defended really well and their organisation. But yeah, I think for her first start she did so well. Just like picking passes, her distribution when on the ball, her ability to sniff out the danger, cut out passes. Here you just see her using her strength and great footwork to get the assist from Allowed for the 3rd goal. But yeah, I thought she had a great game, and there's so much to her play here again. She gets her goal, she gets her rewards. Here, Manchester United so calm, just moving the ball. Not a lot of pressure. I'd like to see Tottenham just be a bit more aggressive in their defending here. But here, too easy for me, but a great finish.
So what is that then, Jenna, as you know, we defend a head-on from Spurs? Is it just a lack of concentration, not understanding the shapes they're meant to be in or positions they're meant to be in? What is that?
I think for me the first goal was just switching off in that split second, and you do get punished. I think in the second half we saw a Tottenham team that weren't really getting forward, and when they were going forward it was often isolated, like weren't committing enough numbers forward to make a difference, to get that goal back. And I think just towards the end it just looked like defensively we weren't aggressive enough, and it allowed Man United the opportunity to play, get their heads up, find passes in and around the box.
There's some positives though. Beth England, you know, first start back since the World Cup. She's in great form. You can see that she's really trying to push on.
Yeah, nearly got off to the perfect start early on in the match, had that opportunity early on in the match. But, you know, to have her back on the pitch, and Martha Thomas as well, we didn't get to see much of the partnership, but I think Martha Thomas has only just got back from international duty. So I think we'll see that develop as the games go on, as they spend more time on the pitch. But, yeah, a real huge positive to have her back in ahead of the London Derby next week.
London Derby next week. Let's see how Spurs should go in that one. Well, Aston Villa had scored more away goals in the WSL this calendar year than any other side. 27 in total ahead of their trip to a resurgent Manchester City, and Ben Andrews was watching on.
Just one change from Gareth Taylor here. An injury on international duty for Philippa Angeldal sees Laura Coombs coming in to start. In the coach's words, she was, quote, knocking on the door anyway. She's in the goals, and so are all of Roord, Kelly, Hemp and Short. A potent attack from all angles for sure. For Aston Villa, a couple of changes. Adriana Leon was in Vancouver barely 48 hours ago, so she drops out to the bench, as does Scottish international Kirsty Hansen, who played against England. Lucy Staniforth returns, and there's just a second start in 2 seasons at Villa for Simone McGill. She will support one of the other hot shots on show today, Rachel Daly. There's Sarah Mailing up from right back. Now McGill with a chance to put some quality in. Headed out by Greenwood. Corsi again. Mailing. Kennedy. Oh, it's a great chance. It's only a corner. Jordan Nobbs thought she'd scored. But that touch there has made all the difference. Oh, flicked on, they're screaming for hands. Corsi's glancing header, I think it was. Sadly, the momentum's all the other way. Staniforth pops it forward, that's off a City touch, and McGill keeps it alive. And the cross is in, and it's hooked all the way in! What a finish that is! Having repelled all that early City pressure, the away day specialists Aston Villa lead. And it is Dan Turner who's put them in front. So delicately helped right into the corner. Keating no hope, and Villa 1 up. Villa happy for it to Be this kind of pattern, but then the penetration comes, does it, from Hasegawa. Nice into Shaw, who took it down on the chest well, and there's Jill Roord. Oh, what an effort! Such a difficult skill, Lauren Hemp. If anyone on this field has the talent to do that, it's her. Look at that for technique. Super effort. 3 in the last 4 for club and country, including the goal against the Dutch for England. Kelly's attempted ball cut out by Darley. Mailing the blind pass here to Buddy Shaw, trying to pick out Kelly. Good clearance, excellent block, still not safe yet. Super stop from Van Domselaar to deny Chloe Kelly. Aston Villa having to chuck everything in the way here. First Turner, then Patton, and then the keeper. Villa's 1 shot on target, still has them in front. Coombs in the middle, it's over her, surely! Yes, Lauren Hemp. They have found a way through, they just about always do. Lauren Hemp's gone close a couple of times, it's 4 in 5 for her. And it's Manchester City 1, Aston Villa 1. The simplest of finishes, really. And yet another headed goal. More than any other club in the division this season, Manchester City. 9 of them now. Greenwood keeps it moving to the always dangerous Hemp. Layla Wahhabi's off on the overlap. Here she is. The traffic is one way. Here's Chloe Kelly with the corner. With a good deep one. Head around the back. She's there again, Lauren Hemp. Double quick turnaround, double joy for Manchester City. Lauren Hemp's on a hat-trick. To close range, far post finishes. And just like that, the long-held Villa lead is obliterated and turned around entirely. Kelly, she's there again, and denied the hat-trick Hemp by another good stop from Van Domselaar. Another brilliant cross. Those two know each other's game so well. Excellent save, it really is. Hasegawa, who never shoots, gives it to others so that they can more often than not. Plays passes like that to find Lauren Hemp. Cut back towards Bunny Shaw, that might be a penalty, you know. Abby Byrne said no. Shaw is still down. The tackles have been good all game long. Did Dan Turner get this one right? That's a penalty. The final whistle goes, confirming 3 fine wins in a row against good opposition for Manchester City. Manchester City 2, Aston Villa 1.
When you play a top side like City, you have to do everything right, on the ball, off the ball, and I think we did that today, but I think the difficulty is it's 2 moments, but listen, my players were excellent today, they really were, and I think they deserve an awful lot of credit for that performance.
The first half we did struggle a bit, and I feel like it was getting that momentum, and we started to get that towards the end of the first half, but we obviously managed to grind out the result, and it was a very good game in the end.
I've loved working with Lauren. I've got a really good connection with her, and I think here she feels that she can be herself, and she's got so much more to come. And we all know what a talent she is, but I think the last half a dozen games I've been even seen her go into new levels in everything that she does.
For Villa, Nedum, really good first half defensively. And they even caught out City early too. Yeah,
they sure did. And don't get me wrong, it's a bit of a worldy goal, so it's not like they were slicing them open as such. But you know, that's a strong start to an away game in a tough place to play. I mean, like, looks like nothing much is really happening, and Turner's decided I'll just stay up from this set piece. But when that ball comes in, you connect like that, I can tell you as a fact right now, I had never done that before. So I can't even begin to tell you how nice that must feel. But it's a fantastic goal for her, and you thought maybe this is going to set the tone for the day for them.
Yeah, but then it was City, they switched on, didn't they? And of course, what you see there in someone like Lauren Hemp, 5 goals in the last 6 for club and country. She's on fire, and she's so impactful at the moment, Jenna.
She is. I mean, if she's not assisting, I think we're going to see here now just a classic Lauren Hemp holding her width, just driving at the space in behind, and you got 2 players there doubled up, and she still manages to get a beautiful cross in. Bunny Shaw really unlucky there. But for me, I think her movement is excellent as well. Here, she just seems to arrive in the box at the right time, execute it so well, just can't keep it on target there. But, you know, she's been phenomenal this season. And then here we're going to see Chloe Kelly out wide, and it's classic. If one player's crossing, the other player tucks into the six. She's got so much space there. Really perfectly executed header.
And defensively then, for Villa, where could they have stepped this up here, Nedham?
You could have had someone stay with her, but then to give credit where it's due, people who are good at reading second balls are the hardest people to mark.
Yeah.
Because at some point, you as a defender, you'll look at the ball, and some people then make a movement after that. You just hope that the ball doesn't land at their feet, and they're unfortunate. On a different day, it bounces elsewhere and she doesn't score, but fair play to her, she put herself in the right position.
Yeah, she did. Could have been wrapped up a little bit more. Penalty Bunny Shaw, potentially, not given. Again, lots of interesting decisions across the league this weekend.
Yeah, for me, you see Bunny Shaw makes the first touch. So for me, I think it's a clear pen. Obviously, we've watched it back a few times now, but here you can just see Bunny Shaw definitely gets to the ball first, and it's a painful one down her ankle. So Villa were lucky to get away with that one.
So what are we saying then about Carla Ward and Villa and where they're at the moment? It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because they are trying their hardest to play as well as they can, but they're not getting the results here.
Yeah, that's everyone's trying as hard as they can. No, that's
it makes it sound
problem.
like no one's trying. They are trying.
I know, I do understand, and I think they are not meeting their expectations. I think you can still see there's a good team in there that do show good moments, but this form is dragging on for a little bit too long, and you hope that they can find something and sort of enjoy the next stage of the season, because this first half, or whatever it is, then they're clearly not going to be happy with it.
Yeah, well, we should see how they go. There is more time in the season to come, but it's time to round up the remaining Barclays WSL matches, starting with Brighton up against Leicester. Flo Pollock can bring us the rest of the action.
After winning their opening 2 Barclays WSL games of the season, Leicester were without a win in their last 6, but they had the better of the first half against Brighton. Lena Peterman narrowly wide from Janice Cayman's cross. The visitors finally made the breakthrough on the cusp of half-time. Peterman held off the challenge of Emma Kuhlberg before beating Sophie Baggerly. Things got worse for Melissa Phillips' side 18 seconds after the restart, when Jutta Rantala was given time and space to double the Foxes' advantage. Brighton rallied and began to dominate the play. They finally pulled a goal back in the 82nd minute when Elizabeth Turland latched onto a hopeful long ball from Maria Thorisdottir. Moments later, the Seagulls equalised. Poppy Patterson with the cross, Turland at the near post to claim her second. Deep into injury time, the hosts almost completed the turnaround, but Turland, on a hat-trick, saw her effort finish the wrong side of the post. The points shared on an entertaining afternoon.
Credit to the group, they never stopped believing and really came to life after we got that first goal. I think it probably could have had a winner in there, but that's how it goes. I think real credit to them. The point's really important.
Liverpool had lost just once in their last 7 Barclays WSL meetings with Bristol City, but there was little to separate the sides. The first moment of note coming on the 50th minute, when Amelie Thestrup turned in Abby Harrison's scuffed shot for her 5th league goal of the season. The Reds drew level moments later. Sophie Roman Haag with the near post header past Olivia Clark. The visitors had an excellent opportunity to regain the lead, but Tegan Micah reacted well to deny Harrison before Taylor Hinds blocked the rebound. Deep into stoppage time, Liverpool also had the chance to snatch all 3 points, but Missy Beaukern saw her strike tipped over by Clark. 1-1 the final score.
I'm really pleased with our performance, that we adapted to Liverpool's game in different areas, but actually stayed in it, and we're trying to go in for the win at the end. So I think overall it was a very busy game. That's what it felt like, but really happy with the performance again.
West Ham were without a win in their last 10 Barclays WSL home games, but had the chance to open the scoring early in the second half. Rico Ueki with the effort tipped onto the post by Courtney Brosnan. After the hosts had gone close at one end, it was Everton who made the breakthrough 2 minutes later. Sarah Holmgaard's corner was met by twin sister Karen to condemn the Hammers to a club record 5th successive league defeat.
With all the players we have out, that we can come and deliver a clean sheet against. I still think they have really quality players, in that squad there, and they also make it difficult for us. But we take the clean sheet and we score a really good from Karen on that set piece. So I'm really happy.
It certainly has been busy this weekend. Elizabeth Turland looking fantastic, great form. She scored 7 of Brighton's 10 league goals this season already. She's looking great.
Yeah, been excellent for Brighton here. Here we're just seeing complete route one football there, but sometimes it just works. And a brilliant finish there, really composed in front of goal. But yeah, she's been brilliant for Brighton this season, and what a turnaround. 2-0 down. You'd hoping that Leicester would secure that and get the 3 points in. Here we're just seeing her second goal again. Just really clever movement, good ball in, and a lovely cushion header into the bottom corner there. Great movement, but free heads, unchallenged. You can't leave a play like that unchallenged in the 6-yard box.
You can't. Willie Kirk's going to be very disappointed they let that lead slip, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure, especially with the goals being like that. Like the first goal, it's route one. You'd like to think you'd be able to defend those situations better, and then when the league's top scorer has a free header in and around the 6-yard box, there are definitely things they could do better, but I'm sure they'll look at it and try and develop from there.
For Bristol City, though, slowly kind of working their way into this and feeling their way through. And that's always going to be an issue when you're coming into a league like this, isn't it? But they're starting to maybe show they can do it.
Yeah, and they're picking up points, and I think that's what they need to do, take each game as it comes, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're picking up points when teams around them are dropping them, and they're picking up points against those teams as well. So, yeah, I think they'll be really pleased going into the Christmas break in the position that they are in.
Yeah, and for Everton, back-to-back wins, all good for them. But for West Ham, that is a conversation now that we're starting to have weekly, and not in the best possible way for them.
No, absolutely not. I think, are they bottom of the league now as well?
They are now, yes, right at the bottom.
You'd like to think when you get down there, the only way is up, but as time passes, you realise there is a trapdoor to take you down as well.
Yeah.
And I think it is disappointing for them to be in that spot. There's been so much hope around them over the last year or so, but something needs to happen, and something needs to happen soon.
Anything you identify there, Jennifer, West Ham, to change?
I think they just need to get a bit of experience and depth within their squad. They're obviously now in a really, really tricky position. That they're losing points against teams like Bristol, who they need to be winning against. So I think the transfer window, they've got to invest. They've got to get more depth and a bit more experience, because we've spoke about it before. They've got a very young squad there.
OK, well, let's see what this all means for the Barclays WSL table. Arsenal now level at the top with Chelsea after their 7th league win in a row and narrowed the goal difference considerably. Manchester City 3 points further back on 19, and United would be a bit happier in 4th on 18 points. Everton remains 7th despite their win, and Bristol City are off the bottom, a point clear of West Ham, who just said at the foot of the table. Well, the Women's Championship returns next weekend, and clubs were involved in the Women's FA Cup 3rd round today. Here are some of the standout results, and a special mention to 4th tier Moneyfields, who became the lowest ranked side to reach this season's Women's 4th round with a 1-0 home win over Millwall. And the draw for round 4, which the WSL sides enter, is on Monday, with the matches taking place in January. Coming up on the BBC, the Monday Night Club has reaction from the weekend's football, and that's on iPlayer and Sounds from 7 p.m. on Monday evening. And the London International Horse Show, 6 days of the best in equestrian competition, including the FEI World Cup jumping and dressage. Coverage gets underway on Thursday from 7:15 on iPlayer. Just enough time now to discuss something quite profound for women's football in England. Recently, clubs from the WSL and the Championship unanimously agreed to form a new organisation to lead the women's professional game from next season. Now, the new independent body will see all 24 clubs from both leagues act as shareholders, so pretty similar to how the Premier League is run. It takes control from the FA into the hands of the clubs. And this is new. What are the kind of implications of this, Jenna? What do you think?
I think it's a really positive, exciting step forward for the game. I think, you know, the WSL, the Championship, are the best place it's ever been. It's growing faster than ever, and I think this new company coming in is going to ensure that the growth is growing off the pitch as well as on the pitch. So I think it's a really exciting time for the women's game, and you know, the FA have taken it as far as you can go, but to continue and to maximise the potential of this league, I think it's a really, really good step forward.
It is a good step forward in terms of trying to maximise everything, but also from a commercial perspective, maybe, Nedum, this is something that we can look at and think, OK, now's the time to really ramp things up. Yeah,
I think so. I think interest in the women's game is as high as it's been in our lifetime. So stepping away from the FA and creating the new co, yes, there is scope for the growth of it. There's scope to be looking at things in a slightly different manner. And don't get me wrong, not everyone enjoys the type of risk from going away from, say, the FA, for example. The growth that we've had across the last few years, people are probably happy with it. But it's not fulfilling its maximal potential. And I think it's going to be interesting because for as much as it's the 24 teams, some teams are bigger teams than others. Are they all going to be on the same page when it comes to making decisions? And does something that benefits one benefit the other as well? Yeah. But these are uncharted waters, but I'm sure they'll be fine.
And I guess in general, it's about how that money then filters down, doesn't it, through those pyramids as well. That's also very important. And we're still, with the WSL and the Championship, in a quite precarious position where we need to make sure that happens.
Yeah, of course. I think the next step will be making the Championship fully professional as well, so that supports the WSL. And then you have to look at the base of the pyramid and make sure that the money's going to the bottom so that we continue in years to come to have the strongest possible players when they come into the Championship. So yeah, it needs to filter down eventually.
Brilliant. Well, Jenna, Nedum, thank you very much, and thank you very much as well. Another busy weekend in the WSL. We'll be back soon. Thanks for watching.
Bethany's fires Arsenal into the lead. It's there. The Gunners firing shots here against the champions. Consider the title race shaken up.